LEGO have not just created a toy, they have designed a huge library of parts that all fit together perfectly, or in other words, a building system. And what some people create with this system boggles the mind. What seems like a simple set of square blocks that in a lot of people's hands feel quite limited, with them only being able to build a small box. But as you build more, you learn about new pieces that mean you can build in new ways, like using snot bricks that let you build sideways, and you learn new techniques that allow you to create more complex structures. And some people become what's called LEGO masters and go on to work for LEGO designing sets. I think this is why people love LEGO. It's an expertly designed system that's easy to get into but has a huge amount of depth that allows you to be creative in a way few other things do. But how does this have anything to do with a factory game? Quick intro for anyone who has not played Satisfactory. It's a factory game where the aim is to automate a production line to take basic resources and build them into more complex parts to send up to project assembly and complete the game. Like some factory games, it has aesthetic pieces that allow you to organize your factory better. For example, using foundations to rise your factory off the ground and line your production buildings up to keep things clean. But unlike most other factory games, the devs of Satisfactory went above and beyond. Most 3D games that have a building aspect to them will only allow you to place objects down in a set grid, or objects will snap into place and give you very little freedom over where you can place things. Walls will snap to the edge of foundations and objects cannot be clipped into each other. I'm not faulting the devs of those other games. It's hard to give the player that much freedom to build, and in most cases it's not the point of the game. So why waste development time on it when it could be better spent on combat or world building? But Satisfactory gives you way more freedom. The devs have not just added some aesthetic pieces to the game, they have built a robust building system like LEGO. And like LEGO, it feels limited at first, and most people can end up creating small box factories. But as you play, you learn about more build pieces, like beams that can be placed at any angle. And then you learn you can snap pillars to those angled beams to create angled pillars. And yes, the build system does still work off a grid like most games. But the community have developed techniques to get around this, allowing us to build curves, circles, and even domes, in much the same way that techniques have been developed for LEGO to take square bricks and use them to make circular shapes. As another example, we can snap walls to the edge of foundations, but even with the nudge tool, we can only move walls at half-meter increments, which to be fair is more freedom than in most games. But with the simple use of a pillar, we have 100% freedom on where we can place a wall. There is one aspect of the build system that I think sums up the devs' attitude and reveals why it is as free as it is. In early development, you could not clip objects through other objects. All objects in the game had a hard cube-like boundary box around it that prohibited you from building anything else in that space. This meant things like coal power plants with tall smokestacks had a lot of empty space in them that could not be used. But the devs decided to change the system to create soft clipping. This meant you could now use the wasted space above a coal gen. But that's not all. Soft clipping allows most objects in the game to be clipped into each other. There are still limits. For example, you can't clip production buildings into each other, but you can clip other objects through them, opening up a ton of creative freedom. My point is the devs chose the path to give the player more creative freedom, and they have done that in a lot of the building system. This all adds together to create a building system that allows a skilled builder to create anything they can think of. For evidence of this, all you need to do is check out the incredible Pass It On event that is organised by amazing community members led by DC1. In this event, you have 2 hours to create a purely aesthetic build, and the things people build are insane. Or check out amazing builders like Muted Artist, who takes building with beams to the next level. Links to all this in the description, by the way. All this to say that if you're into LEGO, I think you should give Satisfactory a try, as it's not just another factory game. In fact, you can ignore that aspect of the game altogether by putting it in creative mode and just making whatever you want. If you decide to give it a go, let me know in the comments. If you already play Satisfactory, hopefully this has given you a new perspective of the game and might open up a new way of playing, using the game more like a tool to create beautiful art. I've made this video in hopes that new people will see the game who might not have looked at it before, as they're not into factory games. I love the factory side of the game, but I don't want the creative side of the game to be overlooked. My hope is that the game can have a long life after 1.0, and similar to something like Minecraft, we can have a thriving community of artists creating amazing builds. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, then drop me a sub. And if you want to learn more about how to design in Satisfactory, check out this video. I've been Scratch, and I'll see you in the next video.